The Perth Racing Preview is where the Straight Up team finds you the winners, and here's the Straight Up team with their preview of Saturday racing from Ascot.
Yes, we welcome along McGinnity. A very good afternoon, sir.
Salutations.
How was it over there? Okay, how many did you sneak in?
Wonderful.
3?
Yeah, sadly on the water due to, got to be professional, Mark.
He's a professional. I love it.
But gee, that Corona looked good there in those Eskies.
The old Coronas.
Yeah.
Apparently a fair spread from what I'm hearing.
Oh. Of course.
Fair spread.
Is it just a coincidence?
Sausage rolls.
Coincidence they've had 3 Christmas parties all on Thursday afternoon?
I think they've been running it on Thursday afternoons for the last 3 years.
Is it?
HR did issue an ultimatum.
And I'm glad they do, let me tell you. Right, big meeting on Saturday. Let's have a look at the weather first. Sunny, 37 degrees, southeasterlies going to easterlies, 25 to 35 to 40.
Yeah, the scrotometer will be at a 9.5, I reckon, Rolls.
And the rail's at the 4 metre position.
He's in form early.
Yeah.
He's seeing him well.
He is. I reckon it was 3. But only it's 4. It was 3 last week, out a metre.
Oh.
It's going to be warm.
Yeah. Understatement. Just as it leaders, you just got to go that way, don't you?
Oh, wouldn't say that, but...
Assume on pace until it proves otherwise.
Yeah, look. No preconceived ideas from me, gentlemen.
Really? All right, can we get confidence levels on the meeting from you then, Riley?
Oh, I think we found the winner in the first.
That's good. $1.38 if you shop early.
Yeah. The early overs.
Yeah.
Oh, someone would have got the $1.50.
Riley and McGinnity are all part of Straight Up. We're looking at the meeting out there on Saturday. Just before we do, nice win there on debut by the Playing God filly.
Very nice win.
Yep.
Picked them up from a tricky little spot on straightening with a bit of class, Marty. I think we've just seen a nice horse.
Your thoughts there, McGinnity?
I concur.
Oh, concurring. Okay, let's move on now. We've set this up for the first event of the day on Tab Touch. A very fine betting establishment, let me tell you that right now. And it's over the 1,000 metres, time to go 12:33. And one is Castle Road, $1.40 to $1.38. True
Well punted, Mark.
Fiction. Yeah, slipped in early, 26 to 23. Hope it doesn't upset Big Paulie. London's Rascal, 7 out to 10. Number 4 is Salve Regina, 18.21 into 15. Final flushes out to 41. Golden Opera around the 4.80 mark. And Kerry Commander's $14.
Eastern States Pro Money, just snipping, Mart.
Snip.
Just snipping. Salve Regina. That's it. Punters shouldering arms.
That might be the shortest wagering activity we've ever seen.
Shouldering arms.
Yeah.
Paid track gallop.
This will win.
Yeah.
Hard to beat.
I bet you just reminded me too, the Mauler. I bet. What price is tipped this?
The Mauler.
The BB.
He only tipped 4 winners last week, and the winner of the big race.
Castle Road BB. I'll walk out. I'll get up and Brad, you can do the show.
It's happening. It's happening. Hard to beat each way, punters.
I'll be over at JP Stratton's if you need me.
Race 1, number 1 for the Mauler.
There it is.
All right.
Yeah. Really nice. In all seriousness.
Yep.
Really impressive win. Ran time, was a dominant performance from a horse who should only take natural improvement with having that run under the belt. And I would say, Brad, on paper, this race is weaker than the one that he put away on that occasion. Just looking at some of the trial form here, he really should be putting 2 in a line to kickstart his career. And, yeah, will go around potentially even shorter. Wouldn't surprise to see him start even shorter than the $1.38 he's currently at the moment. But, looks very hard to beat in the opener. Of the other runners, I thought the if you were looking for some value to play exotics, Salve Regina, I can understand that little bit of activity early doors with her. She didn't get any luck on debut over the 1,100 metres behind Talk & Co, drew a wide barrier, travelled up wide throughout, and thought her effort late and through the line was actually quite good on that occasion. And either side, the 400-metre jump outs I thought were okay. So if you were looking for a bit of value for those exotics, I thought Salve Regina could certainly run into the money.
I will say, after seeing that debut performance of Castle Road, Mart, I have not seen a specimen that impressive since the old Greg Norman beach shot.
Okay.
It's a fair type of 2-year-old, Castle Road.
It is.
Right. So good on Paul and the team there. Race number 2, Own the Dream Maiden. It's over the 1,400, 8 minutes past 1 is start time. What about this for a race? How'd you go putting this one together? Champion. 1 Romantic Ruler, 13.
Champion.
Biondo was 23. Brown Morn, 18. Safari Boys out to 31. Tactics, 550 to 440. Gaspardo, 9 to 7. Soldier of God is 11. 1 for the girls, 13. Sign the Papers, 71. Fifth Essence, 34. Ginger Quest, 61. Lasting Legacies, 51. Ross and Trays, 81. Northern Diamond, 390 to 290. Clever Cond is 51. Precious God is 11.
Gee.
No, I don't think so.
Are we ready to talk about these fantastic Tab Touch road shows that were happening Friday Arvos and the greeting we copped from the mauler? Speaking of champion, just both of us.
He got it in early.
Yeah, thanks, Brad.
Day off tomorrow, thank goodness.
Oh,
thank goodness.
Yep.
Northern Diamond, fair dinkum. They have opened up the wallets. They've got it out of under the mattresses. They've gone into the cookie jar. They've found old tab tickets and cashed them in. And they've used it all to back this horse. I don't know where to start, and I don't know when I'll finish. Let's just say there's been a lot of money for it. It's one of our worst results of the day, and it's just kept coming. Plenty of money on this Northern Diamond. This has been a good local go. A bit of tactics each way money early, and a bit of Eastern States Pro money at Gaspardo. But it's all Northern Diamond rolls.
It's a Bondi.
Yeah, I thought she looked one of the better bets of the day.
Really?
For mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the book.
Well, you go back and watch. She's still a work in progress, I will say that. But you go back and watch her last start run at Pinjarra over 1,300 metres. Her and the winner of that race have really cleared out on the chasing pack. They established a massive break from the third horse, and that horse was What's the Point, who it took WA's best credentialed maiden, Earthstorm, the length of the straight to get past. Last weekend in Saturday, 3-year-old Company, the third horse from that race, Cosmic Spirit, went down to Albany for an easy kill and got the job done as well to make that form look better as well. And even the fifth horse behind her that day has broken its maiden since as well. So it certainly looks the right form. Marty, on paper, should be able to push forward and lob into a really nice spot in running here from the barrier that she has drawn. She looks a filly that's going to get out over a bit of ground in time. Being a Bondi, not surprising, Marty, but she's got plenty of scope about her, having a look at her in the yard as well. Excuse me. And yeah, I just thought this looked a really suitable race for a progressive 3-year-old up against the older horses, of which a lot of these have had a few chances to be breaking through. So I was happy to be with 14 Northern Diamond, made her one of the better bets of the day, and I'm pretty keen to be chopping out on the race. I'm happy to have a saver on Gaspardo, who I have got a bit of an opinion of. Thought he could kick through to lead or box seat here with Sean McGrady going on, and hard-pressed to find any better at getting them out of the gates. And while some might query Albany form coming to the city, Brad, I think this horse has got a bit of ability, and I just like the setup for him as well. I don't think we've seen the best of him just yet.
There's a few in this race I'd like to talk about, Rolls, if I can have your permission. Precious God, if that had barrier 4 and William Pike on board, I reckon I would have had it at $1.60.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's not barrier 4 and it doesn't have William Pike on board. This is a horse with some serious ability. A couple in the middle of the field there. Soldier of God trod quite nicely. He's a horse. There's certainly some untapped ability there.
Absolutely.
One for the girls screaming for the 14, I think, and has some ability there as well. So there's a bit to this race. So looking forward to watching it, but I won't be getting involved in anything at this stage at those prices.
No betting.
Right.
Wasn't sure where you were going there, but anyway.
You've said that before.
Here we go. One off the text line. We're open. 0427 789 571. McGinnity's first segment was on point, but after his race one market update, I think the hangover is starting to kick in. Go and grab him a 6-pack of Coronas, Mart, to get him through the show.
Keep him going. Yeah, there's nothing worse than stopping. I just started, is
His performance is fluctuating.
Yeah. The Maul has gone race 2, number 6 is with you, Gaspardo.
Wow.
In very good form. 4 winners last week. Let me tell you.
Yeah, me Northern Diamond bet just doubled.
Average price of $1.65.
Race 3 was the Westmead Platinum Cup. Oh, what about all this money out there for Westmead? It's a big day. Hope you can get amongst it. You got a few running?
Indeed.
Does he ever? Leviathan.
Let's have a look at the betting here. What's he served up to us? Kisses for Kelly, 370. Tony's Spirit is 18. Henchard, 11. Idyllic Ruler, out to $15. Beats of War got out to 14 into 950. Rockin' Society's 463.10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fortnightly meerkat, or the anyway, the repeat meerkat.
Rock Legacy,
The
17.
meerkat does a U-turn and comes back and goes again.
Midas 91, Alaskan into 850, Candlelight Sheriff is 13, Hoist the Colours 51, and Mystical Man 17.
Yeah, Rocking Society. Welcome back, champs. They're back for more. Fair dinkum. I'm not reading them out either. I just do not have the energy. A bit of Beats of War, Eastern States Pro money, and a little bit of Mystical Man snipping, which I understand, Rolls.
Oh, me too, Brad. Me too. But gee, they've jumped out of trees here, haven't they?
Well, they're playing with ours after last start, so
The Pinnacles is over, but we're not done yet. Yes. We've got a bit left. We've got more to give. Oh wow. I love a good meerkat.
I need a donut pillow at the moment.
We shouldn't put a few Coronas in him every day. This is his career best. This is a Christmas best.
It's a Christmas special edition of Straight Up, that's for sure. But the race, the Westmead Platinum Cup, I did think it looked a race that would be dominated from a market sense by Rocking Society and Kisses from Kelly. Rocking Society's the new kid on the block, and I think only going to get better stepping out to the staying journey. Just never had cover doing all the bullocking work last start, Brad, chasing that tearaway leader 5 down, and was the only horse who settled anywhere near close to the speed there to still be in the finish, let alone win the race. It was an incredibly brave performance, and the form in behind him was franked, albeit not winning in terms of franking the form, but last weekend behind Profit and Power, I thought Central Force was a terrific run, Brad, and War Matters was really good once again. The key for me with him is probably just the fact that he gets a 5 kilo pull on his key danger here in Kisses from Kelly, who has to carry the 60.5 kilos. I just thought that maybe that might be enough to err on the side of siding up with Rocking Society from the good draw, Lucy Fury on up to the staying journey as the more promising type on the rise. Kisses and Kelly's been there and done it. Was a terrific win, second up on the back up. He's a quality stayer. We know that. The weight's not going to worry him. He's a big lump of a horse. He's going to enjoy a pretty similar run in transit, you'd think as well, Brad, from barrier 3. No surprise to see him win again. I didn't have a great deal between the pair in terms of how I framed my market earlier today. When prices went up this morning, I was leaning towards Rocking Society, but if Kisses from Kelly was to keep drifting and Rocking Society was to keep firming, then it would make my decision a bit easier.
These staying races, Rolls, they're bunch finishes, aren't they? And they're taking turns, and I understand how people would want to go with the new kids on the block. Mystical Man, you can make a case for it to turn the tables on Rocking Society. There's a little weight swing there. There's a bit of luck involved there, and you're getting 100 times the price. So that's not a bad little each way sort of play. But for me, Henchard's absolutely flying this prep. Loves it tough. Very unlucky last start, I thought. And
very unlucky.
Yeah, was just much better than it reads on paper, that run. And you're getting $13 around the traps each way to find out. This is a good even race. I don't think there's going to be as much between them as how this market is separating them at the moment, Mart. So I'm going to play wide.
One off the text line here from Brad of Maylands. Have you got them all as tips? Race 3, number 6, Rocking Society there for the Mauler in race number 3. Race 4, the Epona Classic, and this is over the 1,200 metres, and Divine Belief. They got out the $3, but they said that's high enough for us. $2.70, bang. Duchess of Gossip, 11. Melcar Pindari, 18. Janny, $5. Miss Flirtatious, 11 into 9. Harmika, 26. Wednesday's 71. Miss Vasari, the People's Mare, $9. Playing Games is $8.50. Right to Silence, 51. Halves a quote from 100. They had a little spec there. And Rissoles, 9 into 7.
1,100 places Rissoles at the 280. Divine Belief 1,000 at the $3, 400 at the 260, 400 at the 270. Bit of our early sharp money there. Janie, a couple of $300 bets there at the current quote. Playing Games with each way support. Miss Flirtatious, a bit of Eastern States Pro money there at the $10 as well. So good little betting race. Deep Friendless, the People's Mare.
Yep.
Won't be for long.
Oh,
Rolf.
Yeah, look, it'd be nice. I just struggle to see how. I just thought last start was her race, Brad, the good mare. I thought she got every possible chance and she wasn't good enough. And I know she draws another lovely gate and she gets some weight relief, but I thought this race was certainly a lot deeper than last start, and she's back to 1,200 metres. I thought just she's racing like 1,400 is her sweet spot at the moment for me. That's probably my knock on the People's Mare. Miss Vasari, Divine Belief, undoubtedly the best horse ability-wise in the race, but she does have to carry the 60 kilos, taking on the 1,200 metres for the first time in her career, Brad, which is going to divide punters, I think, in terms of whether she's just too classy for this lot and good enough to see it out. But there are going to be a few happy to knock her at that price with those lingering question marks as well.
I'm a massive concern at the 1,200. I thought she got a genuine gift last start. It's the kindest way I can put it. That was a walk to the front, control proceedings and take care of business. So starting price will be very interesting. But, yeah, I'm as a bookie, Mart, at that sort of price range, they're ones you got to take on, aren't they?
Divine Belief? Well, yes, but she might be pretty good this mare.
Yeah.
You know?
Gee, she was impressive over 1,100 with Ollie in the saddle 12 months ago. And he repeated that sort of performance and she'd be winning this, I think. But she does also carry 4 more kilos here without the senior jockey on board. Doesn't look an overly tough steer. You bounce to the front. Miss Flirtatious slides to the breeze. And even if Miss Flirtatious wants to be really aggressive and cross, it just allows Luke to pop onto her back and track her into the straight. I don't think it's it's not an overly difficult steer for him. Rissol's a really intriguing runner for me. Got the job done in Class 1 company over the 1,000 first up. Really slow tempo of that race didn't suit, nor did the 1,000 metres, but she was just too good for them with the 59. Lands midfield cover here, more genuinely run race. Big tick up to 1,200, gets 5 kilos of weight relief off her back with Lucy Fiore jumping on board for Chris Parnham. She just strikes me as a really progressive mare with still better racing to come. I thought there was a bit to like about this setup for her. Second up on the minimum, I could entertain her as an each-way play if you were looking outside of the favourite. And even Playing Games, who I thought was a really good run last start behind All Play, draws far better here, gets 2 kilos on Miss Flirtatious for under a length defeat the start prior to that when they met, and gets 3 kilos of weight relief on her cracking run last start. So she's a horse who's going to have some admirers and has claims as well, Brad.
Yeah, great race to divide opinions, isn't it? There'll be a few that'll just tip a number of horses in this, and we love that. I'm easily getting involved in Vasari each way at that $12 mark around the traps. I do like her better at the 1200. That's just a personal opinion. Love the setup here. But I'm with you that playing games can run a huge race at that price too. With you. I really like that last start performance.
Wouldn't surprise me either. Yeah, this cracking race. We haven't even spoken really about Janae as well, who hasn't put a foot wrong. I thought even Malka Pindari could be a real improver back to this grade. Love the recent trial. I thought that was, while the gear changes are less than ideal with the concussion plates going on, I thought the recent trial suggests to me that she's back on track.
And even the Duchess on the run of a couple of starts ago could perform here, Mart.
Nothing in the book for me here, Mart.
Nothing.
Very open race. Good race. Very open, though.
Maulers with Janny can overcome the wide draw.
Janae.
In some very good form, like the Mauler. Race 5, the Westmead Platinum Sires Stakes. And we'll have a look at this race from the top one. Street Band is 7 to Battle Commander. Wow, 23 into 14. They've had a little shy at the stumps. Number 3, Show the Way, 12. Gold Maker. Yes, it's a half to Goldfinger, 16 into 12. 5 Southern Scandals, 21. They've all been specced. Daytona Pete, 550. The Brook was on Daytona Pete last Friday. Got bang for buck, 13 into 10. Saturday Session, 61. Goldflakes, 12 into 9. Noah Quintilli is 858. Desert Whisper, 11. Sunshine Tafe is 11. And Diamonds and Rubies, 8 into 750.
What price did it open, Mart? That bottom horse?
6.
Yeah, that tells the story.
Yeah.
I thought we'll get him here.
We'll
get Mitch's crew in here. They'll be keen on this thing because it tried like Black Caviar. They'll take any price. I could have gone up $1.40 and they would have taken it. No, too clever them. They stayed out.
Race 4.
Can I ask, did they back that one in the last yesterday? The Londa leader?
A bit of money for it, but
I
nothing.
think they had a lot more on it at the start.
The start before. You could tell he was hedging, wasn't he, Mitch?
Yeah.
He's probably had the little saver bet at $13.
I think he actually said he actually said in his post-race interview after last start, I'm still behind.
He did say that.
So there you go. But race 4, best market read so far, Bradley. The hip flask must be kicking in. Back on track. We love to see it.
Let's go through the bets here. Daytona Pete, 600 at the 550. Street Band, a couple of hundred each way at the 750. Gold Flakes, Eastern Estates, Pro Money, 200 each way. They're at the $12. Desert Whisper, 200 each way at the 11. Battle Commander, Eastern Estates, Pro Money out wide. The little snipey meerkat there. That's about it, Ross.
Battle Commander.
You right? Over there?
Yeah.
These Westmead Platinum days, Brad, they generally attract, with the prize money and the bonuses on offer, a lot of big fields, even races. Yeah, really even races, and this is another one for sure. A couple of runners I do want to just touch on here, though not a race I have a great deal of confidence in. Street Band has been freshened up back to the 1200 metres, which I certainly don't hate for him. He was a super run fresh without luck in the 3-year-old Classic. I think 1200 metres is much more suitable for him than the 1000. My only concern with him is losing the senior and how far back he gets from barrier 10. Tried to convince myself that maybe they could chance their arm and roll forward, but he's just not jumping that cleanly at the moment, and I thought that he'd end up a long way back. So while I do really like the horse, Brad, it just looks a tricky setup for him, despite liking the fact that he's back to 1200 off the freshen up. Daytona Pete comes through a pair of fast run 1,000-metre straight track 3-year-old races. I think the filly that grabbed him late last start, unfortunately for the crew at the book,
might be one out of the box.
Friday, is a proper filly. That was a really nice win of Supernatural, the filly I'm speaking of. I don't think the 1200 will be any issue for him. I think he'll lob in a lovely spot in running, right in behind the speed from barrier 2. I do like how this race maps out for him, dropping some weight off his back. I thought that maybe he'd be a bit shorter in the market, with obviously the relation as well. So the each way I don't mind about Daytona Pete. I think there's some attraction there. Noah Quintilly's trial was super. I thought it was a really nice trial performance, Brad, but an even better trial performance, you could say, was Diamonds and Rubies.
Cool.
Holly Watson couldn't have had a tighter hold on her lace when she was bursting through between runners over the concluding stages. It was a very impressive only public appearance from Diamonds and Rubies.
Yep, they don't trial any better. You know that money's going to come. I'm in agreement with you a little bit, Rolls. Noah Quintilly sort of set a pretty open market and had no opinion about what I wanted to back. And yeah, the more you look at that trial with no gear and the form from its last season preparation, it's one that I think may have just come back a better horse. You always like to find those ones where you think they might have taken the step and can get that price to find out.
Okay, so you're in the book there?
No.
Teetering? You're teetering?
No.
No, okay. Now, the first leg of the Barbaro Butchers quaddie... no, hang on. There's no Barbaro Butchers quaddies.
So that was just a cash.
I think you can be.
That'll go with the music if that package hears that. I know he's over the road, though. He's getting into those Coronas.
He's got it over the speakers.
Go on. So everyone who sent the
Christmas party.
Everyone who sent the Barbaro Butchers quaddies in, there's no Barbaro Butchers quaddie today. Okay, finished. Finito musica. Let's have a look at Ted Van Heemst Stakes, Group 2, weight for age 2,100 metres, and number 1 Numerian going back-to-back or trying to 340, 330 after opening 270. Casino 17, around 950. Maricino out to 16. Let's Gallivant. Just trim back into 11. Curramundi 16. Russian to the bar, 18 into 12 in good order. 10, 13, 750. Thank you very much. And then Sox Nation around the $2.90 mark. In good order.
Great. Thanks, Mark. Thanks. Do you want to say it again? Casino 17. Wow. 500 each way, 250 each way, 250 each way, 300 each way. Fair dinkum.
Not
Sox
at the $9.
Nation at the bigger price. Sox Nation. That nation full of socks, Mark.
Yep.
500 at the 260, 1,000 at the 3, 1,000 at the 290, 1,500 at the 290. Let's Gallivant Eastern States Pro money, a couple of hundred each way at the 10. Plenty of in good order money there as well. Eastern States Pros keen on it. Good betting race.
Yes, certainly is. For mine, Mart, I thought the Eastern Staters look very hard to beat in this year's edition of the TED. Map's going to be interesting, though, for me, Brad. Obviously, Maricino looks your leader on paper, but who is the breeze horse? I thought that perhaps it would be Numerian, and then Sox Nation lands on the back of Numerian, drawn alongside him, which you'd anticipate would be a more than favourable position in running for Brad Parnham.
Or could there even be a single file for a while?
There could be.
Yeah.
Could well be. Numerian was huge in the northerly. He led up that 3-wide line, very genuinely run 1,800 metres. I thought he was a superior run to Sox Nation, despite the fact that Sox Nation beat him home in the race. He's looking for back-to-back Teds, this horse. It's clearly his target race. He won it last year. He's incredibly well suited under the weight for age conditions compared to the Perth Cup. But, yeah, you have to respect Sox Nation as well. She's got the age profile on Numerian Marty, more lightly raced, proper form prior to a flat run in the railway behind Amelia's Jewel and a Tissue, who ran second next start to Via Sistina, the winner of the Cox Plate. So she brings some proper form to the table as well. Queensland Oaks winner over 2,200 metres, so you wouldn't think the 2,100 metres is going to hold any issue for her, especially in the camp that she's in. I just thought a lot of this race had come down to the map and the runs that both of these horses are afforded in transit. Brad Parnham could really land right on the back of CJP on Numerian, stalking his every move, drawn alongside each other. I'm pretty confident they'll run 1-2, boys. I think they'll both be very hard to beat. But I've got a slight lean on Numerian at the price at the moment.
So if Numerian gets to 350, that'll be getting me. I'm just a little bit concerned about these of our good race form lines. I'm just with all due respect, when a horse like Admiration Express at 200 to 1 can run second, you just start to go, well, how big is this gap between our premium weight for age type horses and our 80 plus types? So just a little bit wary at this stage, Mart.
It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Got to go back to 75, 76 to find the last back-to-backer in this race, Tropical Chief. So you're going back a while?
Yeah, I was living in Baghdad then.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't. But that doesn't worry you at all? Maybe there just hasn't been that many horses trying to do it back-to-back.
No.
You'd think so. Wait for age, they would, though, wouldn't you?
Would have been a few.
You'd think, yeah.
You've owned a few winners of this race, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I don't think I've had a runner in it.
Gee.
So you said flat run in the railway. I think they erred with Sox Nation going forward in that race.
It was a flat run in the railway.
Yeah.
But they bounced her back to her
by
best.
riding her back.
3 wide with cover on, yeah.
Yep. That's a fair point.
So but you're up in Trip. You know, she travelled beautifully when she was up in Trip last time.
She won that Queensland Oaks from the breeze. She sat outside the leader and really...
And that's the difference. Go the mile, you know, they're not suited up there, but that position over more ground, it can be a position that suits them.
Yeah, really interesting, Marty, to see what the market does with this pair late. So how it positions itself, because I thought of the pair, Numerian was a superior run in the key leader.
It was a massive run.
I agree too.
Just in good form.
In good order.
In good order. The form of in good order, that's what I was trying to say.
And the camp had the option and chose this, so you've got to respect that.
Did that surprise you, Brad?
Only a touch. The fact that you don't get a weight penalty now heading into the Perth Cup means why not? If you've got a horse that's flying, you can go at the better money races, then still go at the Perth Cup. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Anything can happen.
Would they have got a weight penalty yesterday? I don't think they would have.
I think they do.
Oh, you'll get that, yeah. But it's points you deserve as opposed to being in this grade out of your points and getting a bigger whack.
The Perth Racing Preview is where the Straight Up team finds you the winners, and here's the Straight Up team with their preview of Saturday racing from Ascot.
That's the team after that last race at Ballarat. Mickey Maguanyu Beauty.
Right over the top, Mart, if you don't mind.
Champagne. That was its name, wasn't it?
Yeah, Champagnes.
Get some money.
Few of those flying up at the JP Stratton at the moment.
Oh, yes. It'd be high quality stuff too. Bunbury, race number 7. You've got the Tab Touch handicap over the 1675. And we'll just have a quick look at the board here. 1 Travinsky 17, number 2 Star Rating at 6, 3 Rewarding Artie 34, 4 Intervention 16, 5 Only Us 15, number 6 Why Me 314 to 220, 7 Wozek is drifted at $9, 8 Desert Sleeve is 14, 9 His Archie is out to 550, 10 Argyle Star 34, and 11 Run for Rob is a $18 chance. So, we were up to the second leg of the quaddie, the West Speed Platinum Sprint. It was over the 1,400 metres, will be over the 1,400 metres. Time to go 4:23. 1 Falcon Trader is 11 from 13. 2 Investment Strategy, 5.50 into 370. Ginger Green, 14 into 9.50. What's happened? There's no scratchings. What's happened? Ginger Green's 14 to 9.50. Lord Ganigas, 7 to 5.50. Defending, been firm at 11. Not Secret is $16. We're a Chew is 8 out to 11. Forever Dreaming is 12 to 21. King Cartel, 460 to 550. Mr. Mount Walker's out to 100. Topaz out to 151. And Yarra Lee's drifted to 7. So they have backed a few in this.
Indeed, they have, Mark.
Yeah. What's going on?
They like horses that I don't like as much as they do.
Mm.
It's the simplest way to explain it. Not secret. 600 each way at the $16 mark.
Scotty, your tomato flogger's got involved early.
What price is it now? They can... Back of the queue. King Cartel, 600 places at the $2.15. They also can. 600 places, not secret at the $4.40. No, you cannot. Investment strategy, 550. 500 at the $5.50. You certainly can't have that again. 540 at the $4.80. You also cannot have that again. Lord Gannicus, a bit of Eastern States Pro Money, 400 at the $7. We rate you 300 at the 11. Defending local Pro Money, 300 at the 11. Ginger Green, plenty of each way support early. A few $200 each way bets there. Worth noting, there also has been some money for Forever Dreaming despite that drift.
Couple of bets for me here, Marty. Happy to go in the book here in race number 7.
Yep.
The first of those is our favourite here, Investment Strategy, who for mine brings comfortably the strongest form to the table here. He's just going to need an ounce of luck to get across and into a spot. From the barrier, he was beaten half a length in an RJ Peters. I thought he was a super run from off the speed in the Carbine Club. Then last start wasn't allowed a flowing run into the race in a very fast run mile in 78 plus company behind Russian to the bar. But when he was able to get into his work, his work late and through the line was really good. He's clearly back to his best. He's back to a 72 plus here. He's a tough horse. He's a class horse, and as mentioned, he brings the right form, I think. But he is going to need a good steer and a bit of luck to get across and in to a spot. Investment Strategy from barrier 12. But he's an easy bet for me at the price. And the other bet for me comes through that same race last start in Ginger Green as well, there's been a bit of each way support for as well. Brad already, he's going really well, this horse, since joining Still Casey's team. Returned with a super run under the 60 kilos over the 1,000 metres behind Joker's Grin. Then went 1,000 to 14 second up and was entitled to hit a little flat spot as he did with the steep rise. With the steep rise in trip, he just got squeezed up late and was coming again late through the line, I thought, and then was just posted deep last start up to the mile, gave Russian to the bar that world perfect tracking to the race. In a race where they were really rolling, mind you, and I thought to be beaten only 2.5 lengths at the finish in that sort of class with the run he had was a really strong performance. Back in class here along with Investment Strategy. I thought if Lucy could land him in that 3 wide line and find some cover, potentially even on the back of a horse like an Investment Strategy, that would be a very nice spot for her to land in with him. And given how well I think he's going, Brad, the double figures could look a really nice price. He's going super. So they're the two for me in race 7, Investment Strategy and Ginger Green, 2-bet play.
So you must have had King Cartel and Yarrowlee pretty big prices?
I just think Investment Strategy is a much better horse than Yarrowlee, personally. She's flying.
But you didn't answer my question.
What's that?
You didn't answer my question.
In terms of...
What prices do you have King Cartel and Yarrowlee?
King Cartel was double figures. Yarrowlee, I was sort of close to double figures, $9.
Lovely.
$8.50. So that's probably where I'm at, thinking that Investment Strategy, like Yarrowlee's in career best, I will say that, on the backup from last week. Just sectionally impossible with how slow they went to win that race. But yeah, I just thought Investment Strategy's a tougher, classier horse than Yarrowlee with a bit of luck. I thought I'd much rather be with him, personally.
Fair enough. I'm harping on about this a bit. I don't think there's much between the 72 pluses and almost our open class horses at the moment. I think it comes down to sort of run of the race and set up in that particular race. So as much as there are plenty, and there are plenty that think that Investment Strategy might have a bit of a class edge, I'm not quite so sure. I think it had... I was on it last start, thought it had its chance. A few didn't turn up that day. It was one that did and went all right. And as Roll said, it's going to need a bit of luck from out there. There's enough speed in the race to make that speed battle early pretty interesting in regards to who might get to the breeze, who might be caught 3 wide, no cover, etc. So Leah, looking at Forever Dreaming to improve. That's getting out to a price that'll probably get me a little bit. But yeah, I'm as I might have hinted at earlier, Yarrowlee. I think Yarrowlee's flying. I think it probably, with even luck, might have won its last 3 races. So that's one that will get me and King Cartel, respect for it as well, because it will more than likely lead and get away from a bit. And yeah, so a race that's definitely divided in opinions. One horse that has been absolutely friendless, Riles, We Rate You.
Yeah.
Where do you have it?
I just thought maybe the horse would need the run, personally. But X Factor certainly brings intrigue and has shown previously that he can certainly put in a run fresh.
So why would you say, and I'm not being smart here, why would you say you think it would need the run off its trial? Did it look like it looked big in the trial?
Yeah, potentially. I just thought it was a trial of a horse who, as a horse who we know won a Belmont Classic 2,200 metres, ran second in an Aquineata.
Mm-hmm.
As it built into its campaign last time in, ran second in the Aquineata at start number 6 for the prep and won that race, 7th run of the prep. First up, off a trial which I thought was okay, wasn't exactly an outstanding trial. I thought that in this class of a race that it would be better suited as it gets to a more suitable race deeper into the campaign.
Certainly worth noting that they nommed that horse for the Perth Cup, so maybe they're chasing the 8 ball a little bit. Because if you're nomming a horse for the Perth Cup, I think by now you would have expected it to be a little bit more forward in proceedings.
Yeah. And you've got Lord Ganniker's 550 on the backup. It was happy birthday last weekend for that horse.
I concur.
With how that race was run. I do like the fact that King Cartel drops the weight off his back, but I thought he got his chance in that Westmead final, Brad, to lead and win.
Yeah.
So it presents with both of those runners taking up fair chunks of the market, presents, as you're pretty keen, Yarra Lee, presents some betting opportunities elsewhere. And I just thought that the form out of the race I like, the rush into the bar race over the mile and what investment strategy did prior to that, along with Ginger Green and what he's done this campaign, I thought that was the strongest form to be following into the race, albeit they are going to need a bit of luck from where they're drawn.
Mart, you like one here?
No.
Oh.
No.
Thanks for your input.
Moving into race 8. Oh, what a race this is. The Westmead Platinum Mile. It's over the 1,600 metres. And Outspoken Lad is...
That famous start.
Oh, gets Darren up and about. He loves it.
Just quickly, before we get stuck into this market, these last 2 races, Brad, how'd you go
good.
Pricing these ones up?
AI?
What's artificial insemination got to do with this, Mark?
Right. Let's go. $13. Satino, 650 to 5. West Aussie, 20. Here for checks, 950. Odanaka, 15. Pro Latte, 21. Catch These Hands, 19. Profit Pocket, 650 into 550. Bo Talks, 21. Beljourney, 850. Civvy Street, 34. Happy as Larry, 23. Hide the Oreo, 71. Imperialisers, $14. Mac, 34. Romeo, 9 into 6. Down the bottom.
For anyone listening, Brazer's on his way to the Windsor.
The Windsor.
Security alert.
If you walk to the bar and find Brazer and say Big Lefty, that's the password, he'll buy you free drinks all night.
Okay, now let's get cracking on this because it's a wide open race. There'll be plenty of but there's one off the text line here from John Short of Bayswater. Have you got my son's tips? Yeah. So race 5, number 12, Sunshine TAFE, and race 6, number 8, he's on Sox Nation, and race 7, number 9, is with the Pateman stable with King Cartel.
I've got a text for one on the text line from Merrill Short from Dalkeith. Have you got my... No, it's Satino Pro Money at the 650. Romeo Eastern States Pro Money at the 850. And that's about it.
Oh, Merrill.
Yeah.
You met Merrill, Mark?
Just missed that race. Yeah, no, come on, Riles.
Mez. Yeah, you'll like this. The top of my notes page for this race, Brad, is just too hard. Too difficult. It was, this was a minefield of a race to try and delve through. Satino was okay, fresh, was given an absolute get in the queue in terms of peach rides from this bloke at the moment, but Clint Johnson Porter gave him an absolute 10 out of 10 first up from the barrier. Should improve with that run of the belt. Up to the mile, I think, is going to suit him. Was only beaten a couple of lengths by Miss Sky High, so you could take that as the strongest form leading into this race, Brad. I could completely understand you there. Catch These Hands back in a bit of form with some weight relief off his back. He's been building nicely, but worried about where he gets to from the barrier. Profit Pocket, I thought, was just a bit plain last start. Would that be fair, Brad?
I concur.
A bit plain. I thought that as original favourite, I thought maybe, I don't know. I know you do have to respect the Triscari horses because they are so heavily backed every time they go to the races, but I just thought he was better the start prior to last start. Profit Pocket. Belle Journey's going super. She can certainly win this race without surprise, but the one that's creeping out, or that has crept out now to a price I could probably entertain as an each-way bet is Imperialise, who was just a really, watching the replay last night, it was just a really bizarre replay watch and review, wasn't it, Brad? Just lost his spot completely when it looked as though the box seat was absolutely his for the taking and all but sewn up, and then just got shuffled back into a horrible position, lost all momentum in the run, and still really got to the line nicely late. Over the concluding stages, I love the jockey change with Lucy Fiore, who for mine is riding as well as anyone in WA on board at the moment. Out to that price, Brad, $14.
19 around the traps.
19 around the traps. You could certainly entertain that as an each-way play.
Belle Journey. Benny from Bunbury.
Yeah, right.
He has been very busy on the text line every Sunday about Belle Journey.
Why does it smell like pheromones in here,
I don't know. We've been invaded.
Speaking of champagnes,
Wowee.
I can spot a couple.
Yes.
Anyway, I've got a couple, Mark.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but
No, it's okay.
Imperialise, yeah, rolls $19 around the traps each way. That's I love these open races where you have no opinion.
Yeah, no
prices
opinion
get out to where they want to get to, and you can just find a couple and unleash the beast. So, Imperialise, $19 each way, and a bit of Bow Talk. I love Holly getting on Bow Talk, and I think this will run a race at $26.
One off the text line.
Oh, package.
Package is here as well. They're under package surveillance.
We're under sufferance in here. Fred from Fremantle. Now, Fred is one of my all-time favourites when he gets involved on this Retrovision text line. And he says, has Brad ever gone up overs one of his own runners? Must be very popular amongst the co-owners. That's Fred from Fremantle.
I just don't look forward to that day when I get called in the steward's office because I've gone up $10 about one and it started 4.
Don't worry.
I'm petrified.
They take a little look at who's in the ownership group. B.S. McManus.
Yeah. It's,
I don't know how you've done it for so long.
And the amount of times I've just gone up wild unders about one because I was that petrified. But especially when you have friends who might be pro punters who are involved in the ownership group as well, and you're worried that they're going to do it just for a laugh.
Very fine line, isn't it, Bradley?
Yes, it sure is. Anyone wondering why we haven't got anything on the text line from Duppy or the Dutchman today? They're international.
Are they?
At the moment.
Are they together?
They may be on the 4th floor of a certain establishment.
Right.
Okay.
We're in the Lion City.
But we won't go into that.
Bit of a double D action, Dutch and Dup.
That'll cause a bit of chaos up there. The Wild Wild West. TBWA Stallion Tender Scheme Trophies, the last. What a race to bat out on here. 1,200 metres, 5:40. Street Parade, 31 to 23. Snow. You got to go rough the last. Look at this one, Snow Prince, and I can get it. 16 into 750.
I can get it.
Ruler Rocket 14. Hang on. Halatorian. 850. Birds a Word 23. Climb on Top. Bit of that. 18. Norwich 4 to 350. Capricorn Man is 15. Sessions Peak 61. Stylish Lord is 17. Cable Boy 20. Playing Rio 16. Elbow Lounge 23 to 18. Go Grommet 31. On Patrol 21 into 13. Well spec'd.
Did you get that too?
And I get that as well. And Kraken Time. Kraken Time's better than doing it is $7.50.
Hostile Talk, no mention of the EM1?
it'll get a start because it's going to
okay.
go Gromit without the rider, Marty. We'll
All right.
go to
well, we
Bunbury
go to
on Sunday.
Hostile at $5.
There are, surprisingly enough, a few keen on snow prints. Local Sharpies, yes. Eastern States Pros, yes, also. They said, Brad, you're being a clown. We will have a bit of that. Thank you, champion.
Yeah.
A bit of Norwich straight out money.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had to back it after last start, surely. Aside from that, it's a pretty quiet betting race. There's been a little bit of each-way snipping, as you alluded to, Mart, about that on patrol.
You'll enjoy this, Mart. One off
Yep.
the text line
Text.
quickly before we get into this last race. G'day, boys. Are you watching the cricket? Firstly, it's pretty hard to watch the cricket and record a podcast at the same time. Jim the Pommy Pie.
But yes, we are.
But yes, it is on in the studio. The Hurricanes must have been watching Australia bat, 7 for 40. Charlie the Pommy Pie Jr. is having a meltdown. Now 8 for 40. The Pommy Pies are tuned into Straight Up, and they're also watching the Hurricanes.
Yeah, well, that's good work.
Have an absolute
Now,
time of it at the moment.
I thought you were going to send in that text that we had a spotting of Peng. Now, how good was that? At the Arbour.
The old Arbour, the old synagogue down in Freo. The Peng was spotted.
I've had a good look at it. He's been superimposed into that picture.
No, he hasn't.
There's no way they'd let him in there, mate. No, he must have snuck in.
You would be surprised what they let in that joint.
Really. Standards have dropped.
The thong's on as well.
I love the look on the face. Can we post that? We've got to post that on the socials from Tab Radio. Our listeners would want to have a look at it. I'm sure they would.
Packages has a strict no peng policy on the socials.
I will send. I apologise to our listeners because we can't obviously share this photo with you, but
You can on your private Twitter site, Rolls.
Yeah, I guess I could.
We should have a spot peng thing going on. You know, there's a prize. Spot the peng and get a photo and send it in.
Peng stoppers.
Peng stoppers. Oh, well. And that is a clubhouse leader, by the way. It's a brilliant photo. All right. I tell you what, if you did put it on, you'll get some followers if you put it on your personal.
Just the look of bemusement on his face.
And I like the way the boys, they've realised they've got they called him the goat, didn't they?
The goat. I didn't fully appreciate the following and the stature the Peng has.
He's out there. Don't worry. So we got 5.5 till Bunbury, race 7. Let's have a look at this last race. Why Me has gone into $1.75 here from $3.40. Wow. That's a good move. We'll get to Darren soon and talk about it, but the last on Saturday at Ascot, the TBWA Bradley Stallion Tender Scheme.
Norwich is a difficult horse to line up, isn't he, Brad? Off a career peak performance by not just a considerable margin, but a monumental.
Probably the hardest horse to price racing in Australia this year.
Well, if he repeats the dose, he should be odds on. If he repeats that
100%,
time.
100%.
How often do they?
How often do they spike that
big?
That big. He ran quicker time than Overpass. That's incredible. Like, I know times aren't everything in racing. I'm more than across that whole conversation. But for him to have run faster time than Overpass in a Winterbottom, that is astounding.
It's genuine. Yeah,
Second horse has come out and won, hasn't it? Avoidance.
Two horses in behind have come out and won and made that form look good
So
too.
it's no fluke.
No, absolutely not. It was just a sustained
And by the
display
way,
of speed.
the Mauler's just straight into it. He said, this is win and it's my best.
BB.
Yeah.
Merrill's tipped it too.
Now, Betty the burglar from Belga has tipped On Patrol and said it is a certainty.
Wow.
The old C word. We haven't heard that for a while. She must be old school, Betty the burglar from Belga.
With your man, Manuel.
Is he on it?
Yeah, Manuel.
Oh, my man.
Your man.
Yeah.
I can understand the Snow Prince money. Was really good last start, dropped back to the 1,000. Luke Campbell jumped aboard. was beaten 3 lengths, bopping blue in a race where they've posted a really big figure. Back to 1,200 metres, low draw, can kick through to hold a position, I think is a suitable setup for him. He had excuses first 2 runs of the campaign, so he's been building nicely. So Snow Prince, I can understand that money. Halatorian's going well. He's a genuine live hope for the fans of the Big H, Brad. He can absolutely win this race. Gee, he just could get that really nice 3-deep cover blending into it, attacking the line late if they do overcook things a little bit up front, as there does appear to be, even with Norwich engaged, some other speed in this race too that are going to want to really rock and roll forward. Cracking times, a horse I've always had plenty of time for. The barrier hurts, attacks this without a trial, was a dominant first up winner last campaign. I'm interested to see what he can produce first up, Brad, as well. And, Hostile Talk trialled super, sweating on a run, but I think we'll get it with Go-Go Grommet heading to Bunbury now on Sunday. So no strong thoughts for me in the last, but intriguing race to round out the day.
There's only one bet in this race, gentlemen.
Hell.
The Big H.
I agree with you, Rolls. That 3-wide tracking run. Been waiting for that kind of setup because he does need to build into his races and just flow, and been leading into this race quite nice. He looks a great setup. I will give a special mention to a horse that I think is going really nicely and probably has more ability, more runs on the board than people are giving it credit for, in Cable Boy, who trolled really well.
Yeah, did troll well.
Has actually got some pretty decent form lines and put in some performances on a Saturday, which would have it very close to these.
And Bo Zoom ran a really good race last weekend, coming through that same trial into town as well. So.
Indeed.
Cable Boy, good to have Diggers Beecham back in the team too. He's been missing for about a week.
We had a chat to Wolfie on Drive last week, Marty, and he said he was really looking forward to getting this bloke back to the races because he thinks he's got him as well as he could have him at this stage of his career. So good push from Wolfie about Cable Boy.
And we'll move on because we need to get our best bets for this big program out there at Ascot on Saturday here on Straight Up with Riley Morgan and Bradley McManus. Our best bets on the card rolls.
Yeah, look, never ideal on a Saturday program to have a best bet in a maiden, but that's the way we're going. Race 2, number 14, Northern Diamond, my best bet on the program. But we are having a saver in that race as well, Mart, on number 6, Gaspardo.
Correct.
To square off on the event. And then race number 7 for me, 2-bet play. Race 7, number 2, Investment Strategy, and race 7, number 3, Ginger Green, touching double figures as well. They're the 2 for me. And they're the only 2 races I'll attack on the program, Mart. Tough day.
Love it. Getting involved, Mart.
Hang on. Let me go. Yeah.
Race 3, Henchard
Numbers.
each way, and a Sneaky Mystical Man each way as well. Race 4, Miss Vasari each way. Race 5, Noah Quintilly each way. Race 6, Numerian at the $3.50 if it gets there. Race 7, Yarralee each way at the $7 plus. Race 8, Botalk, $26 plus, and Imperialise at $19 each way, Rolls. Appealing. And race 9, Halatorian.
Yeah, I'm going to give that one a good push as well, Mart. Tricky race, but race 8, number 14, Imperialise, that's well and truly over the odds, I think. Bit of still unsure about the mile, but I think with Lucy going on from that barrier, juicy odds.
Okay, just looking at Holly Watson there when she was coming in. Look, must be humid conditions there. She was really struggling, just coming back in after winning on that horse. And it was a pretty tough ride. Eh?
You can hear in the call when we cross the Mac, the wind is huge. Well, it's strong down there at Bunbury.
Down at beautiful Bunbury, Royal Bunbury. Looks a fantastic day, sponsored, of course, by Swan Draft, as you were earlier on.
Draft.
Nice to have you on the show, McGinnity. One of your best.
Thanks.
We hope you enjoyed another stimulating episode of Straight Up. All betting markets supplied by Tab Touch. All care, no responsibility went into the production of today's podcast.